to you, Taurus, out there. Hope y'all are having a great day. So look, so for you, Taurus, you actually have the Three of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and you, Taurus, have the Judgment. So what's going on with you, Taurus, is that as of right now, that's interesting. That's a very interesting take. Okay, so the Judgment represents other people's delusions of grandeur about you and how you approach people in reality. There's a disconnect where you, Taurus, are sweet individuals, meaning respectful. A lot of you are very respectful individuals, and you approach people like how you want to be treated. And it's this delusion, it's this serious delusion now, because it's like how you approach people is not how other people are receiving the message, and it's not how they interact with you. There's this sense of the Three of Swords and the Queen of Swords. There's this sense of, you, Taurus, are getting treated and being talked to as if you really doing something terrible behind the scenes, when you, Taurus, you just want to do right by people. Obviously you're not perfect, no one is, but you just want to do right by people. And it just seems to be this real issue of like how you are actually approaching people in reality versus the narrative, right? You got to be the villain of the story. It's really showing you, Taurus, that you weren't crazy. Because let me open it. It's just warm in here, because it seems like there's this scenario, right, where it's this delusion of grandeur, where it's like the person who shows the love, they got to be hidden. They got to be hidden narcs. They got to be, on the low, doing something nefarious. And it's like that's not what it is at all. Sometimes what it is that you're seeing is what it is that you get. If the person seems to be good or upright, for the most part, consistently, they're decent and they're upright and they're good. So it's like it just seems like other people gotta pick a lane. They gotta either say that you're the villain of the story, which means that if they need your help, don't come calling to you, because it doesn't make sense calling the villain of the story, right? Texting the villain of their own story. It doesn't make any sense if they were to do that. And then there's the delusion of, well, no, not the delusion, the reality of that's not who you, Taurus, actually are at all. You're not terrible people at all. It's just that it's this delusion narrative that a person has to try hard to really paint, because because let me just say this before I jump on another train of thought. It's because they have to say this because who you, Taurus, actually are is going to make them look terrible standing next to them. And I told you, Taurus, this. I told y'all. I said we get into a point in history where the better you are is people gonna start to really reveal that they're weirdos. Because I was watching a video about how this person was on the balloon popping show, and like the person ended up I don't really watch it. I just kind of get like the cliff notes of it, right? The gist of it. And like the because of the fact that the person on the show was kind of like roasting back at the people who was roasting at him, they called his job and they ended up getting him fired. And it's like what kind, like what world, what kind of, like what part of the game is this? Like what kind of nonsense is this, where it's like the narrative is so strong, you have to defend, you know what I'm saying? Like other people have to defend the narrative so badly, so much. They're hurting people, they're getting people unalived, they're trying to get people to lose their jobs. All of these real world consequences because delusional people so badly want to create and keep this narrative up, And this is what I mean when I say at the end of the day, Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords, the games have to stop. Because the games is getting people unemployed, it's getting people hurt. It has real life consequences because grown adults can't stop it with the narratives to the point where they really causing harm to other people. Now, what does this have to do with you, Taurus? These people would be trying to tear your reputation down. And the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords represents the dichotomy of what's going on. You, Taurus, just want somebody to love and to grow with and build with and create that generational wealth with. But that's the catch-22. The Ace of Cups versus the Ace of Swords. The ideology of you want someone that you can build and grow with and age with and build with and respect, love, cherish, all of that good stuff. But it's like you realize that you Taurus out here realizing that you out here fighting a battle because stepping to people correctly is a no-no now. The better you step to people is the more the narrative is strong. They are calling people's jobs to get them fired off of roasting them. And they were roasting the person too, talking about how the person is trash and low class and this, that, and the third, and acting like they sharing pictures of all to prove what? All to do what? What was the value of that? Same thing that was happening. That same thing that's happening to you, Taurus, if you're following my analogy. The fact that you, Taurus, are stepping to people with any kind of dysfunctionality, any kind of real glaring dysfunctionality that's going to jeopardize the relationship. No, you step into them correctly, and people don't want to give you a chance, or they playing mind games with you. And even with me, I refuse to date anybody in the United States because the shared narrative of I'm not going to do anything for you. Countless people telling me what it is that they're not going to do. And it's like, yo, I'm not asking you, and I know this may get a little bit vulgar, but I'm not asking anybody who I'm with to pick up a piece of poo-poo off the floor and eat it. I'm talking about wanting the people who I'm with, trying to get to know romantically, to do things in a relationship that all functional relationships do. So it's not like I'm asking anybody to do anything dishonorable. And you mean to tell me that they can't do that? But again, Ace of Swords. And this is why a lot of you Taurus have realized that it's a spiritual battle. And one of the things that you Taurus realized about this battle is you realize that you got to stop trying to prove yourself like you're different, and that you're actually one of the decent ones, and that you're not out here trying to hurt anybody. You Taurus realized this. And so what you Taurus did, you Taurus put down your sword. You stopped trying to be pressed to prove something to somebody else. So guess what y'all Taurus did? Y'all put y'all swords down. You're like, you know what? You're not going to fight. You're going to put your sword down. You're going to move forward with your life because nobody is forced. You don't have to engage with a delusional idiot or idiots. And then now the Six of Pentacles, because how are people expecting to be in a relationship when they're blatantly telling people they're going to take advantage of them? I don't know. I don't understand what part of the game is that. But at the same time, this is exactly what it is that I'm talking about, right? You Taurus realize that relationships, real ones, have to be a two-way street. It got to be love all around. It can't be one person receives the tender loving care, the effort, the sweat equity, the hard work, the financial backing, while the other person does not. And then there's all sorts of reasons why the other person who's actually the one giving more, or just giving in general, deserves very little or nothing at all. So so you, Taurus, you saw this for what it was, and you Taurus is like, you're done with that. Why would you want to have to deal with somebody who will do this to you in the first place? And the Five of Wands now and the Devil is about how, this is where the difficulties start, because when you're trying to get to know, when you Taurus are trying to get to know somebody and they start running that game on you, you Taurus just think to yourself, oh my gosh, we got another person who's getting caught up with the narrative again. The narrative of needing to make to again, like, color you into a perspective. What I mean when I say color you, I mean like paint a picture. I mean like frame things. They have to frame you. They have to frame it in a way and lose context in a way where you as Taurus look terrible, all to have a reason to bicker and argue, fuss, fight, go back and forth with one another, be at each other's throats. And you Taurus are just not built for that anymore. So guess what's going to happen? The Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. All those people who are giving you a hard time, you Taurus are going to leave alone. And you're going to allow them to experience their own lives, but with one less decent person in their life. Because that's essentially what's happening out here, Taurus. It's the fact that, remember what I told you, Taurus. I said that not everybody is going to be able to get a seat. And what I meant by that was, now everyone is starting to wise up to the weird antics and activities that a lot of goofballs do, and how weird and how odd they are. And a lot of people are waking up to realize that this is bigger than just we going at each other's throats. It's the narrative of people who getting down with the agenda, who like to play games, don't want to admit that they ain't squat. They will call your job, try to get you fired. They'll try to do all sorts of craziness. They'll try to, unfortunately, get you harmed in all kind of shape, form, or fashion. They'll stalk you. They'll call the police on you. Everything else in the world. And they're playing with people. And everything else in the world other than to look within. Because remember what it is that I've been trying to tell you Taurus. I don't know if it's specifically you. And this is the thing that I say in some of my videos, but now I may have to begin to say it even more now. Stop trying to get narcissistic people upset, because this is what narcissistic people are capable of when they're upset. They're capable of doing you in. They're capable of calling your job and getting you fired. This is all narcissistic strategies and antics and things. So when you start talking about, when you see other tarot readers start talking about getting back at the narcissist, getting at the narcissist, making the narcissist feel terrible, why would you want to antagonize somebody who prioritizes their ego to such a degree where they will do anything, including things that are illegal, in order to protect their ego? This is what I'm talking about. This is why I say that this narrative is a very dangerous one. And people who gonna say that they're tarot readers, they have an obligation to steer y'all in the correct direction if y'all are listening to them. This is why for the life of me, I don't understand why some of these tarot readers can come on here yesterday and then it's like they make 1-2 videos, they blow up, they got 200, 300, 400, 500, 600,000, 1 million subscribers and all this other type of stuff. And it's like they oh yes, Wonderful. Yes, you're going to get the narcissist upset. What? Because you, Taurus, are seeing the kind of problems that a person can bring into your life, which is part of the reason why you, Taurus, got the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Because you're letting people see what it's like when they have the mentality of the grass is greener on the other side, and you're not doing anything but simply letting them go. And what happens when you let them go? Let's find out. Let's clarify the Ten of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, Strength card, Page of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Magician, and then you have the Fool. The Two of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Page of Cups to clarify the Ten of Pentacles. Again, what's going to happen? You, Taurus, are actually much better off without having a narcissistic person in your life, because you're not looking for someone who's that delusional and dangerous at the same time anyway. And then the thing about it is that they're delusional, right? So the Magician and the Fool represents you, Taurus, don't have to deal with that. You're letting them see what it's like when they want to go around disrespecting people, how the very same thing that is the narcissistic's most worst fear, ending up by themselves, everybody leaving them alone, nobody to give them attention, they're going to create their own worst fear based upon how they treat people. Because you, Taurus, left them, and now those people now those narcissistic people that you, Taurus, left, now they're trying to fight for scraps. They're trying to figure out who's their next target. Who are they going to talk to next? So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's ways to get tarot readings, birth chart readings, as well as the books that I have that are on Amazon. And if you don't want to do that, but you'd like to get a personal reading or a birth chart reading from me, you can contact me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com.